No, you can take your time. We're going to do both my wines back to back. There's no ways I can fill 6 minutes, so you can take your time trying the wines. Yeah, firstly, don't ever listen to Duncan Savage. He talks a lot of cuck. Makes great wine, but talks a lot of cuck. So what we have here, I'm Miles Mossop from Mossop Wines. If you know a bit of my history, you know that I've got a bit of a history with Cabernet Sauvignon as a grape variety. I actually tried it my very first vintage when I was allowed into Cora to start my own brand. My very first vintage was a Syrah that I managed to source. A friend of mine helped me source from the Swartland with a bit of a bad. This is way before the Swartland was cool and hipster, 2003. But I must say, I think I made a decent wine, but I didn't actually find that I had an affinity for it. I didn't really have the feeling with that grape that I do with Cabernet Sauvignon. So that was 2003. I sold the whole vintage off to someone as a buyer's own brand. They put their own label on. And the very next year, in 2004, I started working with Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Petit Verdot, and later on with Cabernet Franc. So if you know that one wine that I produce called Max, which is named after my son, if you know my brand, I have a range of wines named after family members. Max is a blend of Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Petit Verdot, and Cabernet Franc. It's a Stellenbosch Bordeaux style blend. And it's been in the market from the first vintage of 2004. And what I do with the Guild wines is I take the best performing block of Cabernet Sauvignon and I bottle it on its own. Now I know some of you are going to say with this first wine, the 2019 Maximilian being poured, that it has some Merlot and Petit Verdot in it, but it's really not about those grapes. It's about trying to showcase Cabernet Sauvignon from Stellenbosch and as an expression of the best performing block of Cabernet Sauvignon in that year that I produce. So Maximilian 2019, which is the glass on the left, stay focused here, is a block that I started working with in the Helderberg. It's up near David Trafford. It's growing in those deep red soils on the Helderberg. 2019 was a beautiful cool vintage. We were able to get good maturity on Cabernet Sauvignon without having to pick at too high alcohol. So you'll note both of these wines are 13.5% alcohol, which is relatively low for Stellenbosch. Really just showcasing bottling 2 barrels of that single vineyard to showcase the beauty of the 2019 vintage and the beauty of that specific vineyard up in the Helderberg. It's a vintage that I think the wines will age beautifully, although both of these wines have been on the auction before, 2019 and 2018, so are quite relatively small volumes. So it's quite nice to showcase some slightly older wine. It shows a little bit of that openness as it starts developing some bottle age. The fruit starts to evolve and some secondary characters start to evolve in the wine. But as I said, 2019 is an exceptional vintage and a wine that should age for many years to come. The second wine, the wine on the right hand side, is the Maximilian 2018. This is from a block in the Bottleray. It's the very first block of Cabernet that I started to work with for the Max blend in 2004. It's a very old vineyard, planted in 1986. It is growing on decomposed slate soils, which is, you have pockets of it in the Bottleray Hills area. Very virused, takes a long time to ripen, and gives you a slightly different expression of Cab Sav from Stellenbosch, where 2018 was also a much warmer vintage, but it was good for this virus vineyard because it has hang time. We don't get rains. We didn't get rains in 2018. That started till much later in April. So the vineyards were able to hang, the grapes were able to hang and develop lovely maturity. And it's a much more savory expression of Cabernet Sauvignon. This one is 100% Cab Sav. There's a little bit more sort of black olive, a little bit more perfume, a little bit more savory, dried herbal characters that come through with a beautiful texture and a lovely mouthfeel. So I hope you enjoy these wines. Very small. Oh, we have a question.
You said we drank the 19 first and then the 18.
Oh, you're right. I did say, sorry.
And I think we were poured the 18 first and then the 19.
You're 100% correct. Sorry, that is my error. Pardon me. 2018, the more savory wine is the wine in the glass on the left. The 2019 more dark fruited wine is the wine in the glass on the right. So very small volumes on the auction. There's only 10 cases of the 19 available and 20 cases of the 2018. So I hope you can get some, and thanks very much.